You may not know this, but just like how UK has a shortage occupation list, Australia has a similar list called skilled occupation list. And if you're a nurse, you're a midwife, or a teacher, you are on that list, which means that if you meet the criteria and you apply for a visa, you are prioritized. They are giving visas in as short as 3 days to professions on this list. And if you are new to my channel, kindly click below, go to my channel and check out some of the videos that I have been making. If you are planning to move to the UK, well, and now Australia, my channel will be beneficial to you, so do well to subscribe below, and do not forget to join my Telegram page. I think I have one of the most active Telegram pages. It's not me that is saying, it is not me. Check it out. So please do well to subscribe to my channel, join my Telegram page, join the family. Let's have fun, let's interact, and let's learn how to move from our countries to UK or Australia. So like I was mentioning, Australia has a list called the skilled occupation list, and if you are a teacher, you are needed in Australia. If you're a nurse, you are needed. If you're a midwife, you are needed. Okay, and in today's video I'll be teaching you how to go about your application to teach in Australia. What are the documents that you have to prepare? What are the costs involved? Is it better than moving to the UK, or is UK still number one in employing overseas teachers? I don't know. Let's get into the video to find out.
I don't wanna see the way you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah.
Alright, so you're welcome back to the video. My name is Mercy and I'm a nurse in the UK. Thank you so much for choosing to watch my video today. And like I said, do not forget to subscribe to join my YouTube family. So before today, or before I started researching today's topic, I never knew that Australia was the name of a continent as well as a country. I mean, I knew there was a continent called Australia, but I guess I never actually made the connection. Okay, but let me tell you, or let me enlighten you also, that Australia is the name of a country as well as a continent. So if you are taking the continent Australia, there's Australia itself in the continent plus other countries. But if it is just the country Australia, it is just Australia. And Australia, the country, is made up of 6 states and 2 territories. Okay, and there are 6 education boards in Australia, and each of these education boards have different requirements and different criteria. Some boards require that you are already in the country or living in Australia before you can apply to them, and others can take you while you are overseas. Okay, so I won't be going into details with each of these 6 education boards because that will make the video really long. So I'll give you a general requirement of the document or criteria that you need to meet if you want to practice with any of these 6 states, or you want to practice in Australia. So now let's look at what education qualifications you must have in order to be able to teach in Australia. So first and foremost, you need to have a 4 years degree in education, and this degree could be Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, as long as it's 4 years in education. Or if you don't have that, but you have a 3 years degree in any subject, okay, plus 1 year postgraduate certificate in education, or plus 1 year postgraduate diploma in education, you can teach in Australia. Okay, you also have to have had a 45 days teaching practice supervised by a university lecturer, okay, or a lecturer, and this should not be part of your teaching experience. It should be different from your teaching experience. So maybe possibly before you started teaching, you need to have had at least 45 days teaching practicum, okay, supervised by a lecturer. Also, you need to have written IELTS, not just any IELTS, but IELTS academic, and you need to score at least a band 8.0 in IELTS. If you don't have IELTS certificate, there's another example. Hold on, I have to look at this one. It is called AITSL PR, and this stands for International Second Language Proficiency Rating, and this exam is similar to IELTS in that it has 4 aspects, which is listening, writing, reading, and speaking. Okay, and in all of these 4 areas, they want you to have scored at least band 4.0. That is 4.0 in writing, 4.0 in speaking, and so on. You understand? So these are the educational qualifications that you must have. The other documents that you need to have are your birth certificates. you need to have your birth certificate, as well as a photographic document, any official document that has your picture on it. It could be your passport, it could be your driver's license. And if you're someone whose name has changed from what it used to be, you have to upload a document to prove this. So for those of you who are already married, you can upload your marriage certificate to show that your name have changed because you've been married. Okay, then you also need a criminal record and history check from your country. Okay, whichever country you are coming from, you need to present them a police certificate that shows that you're not a criminal, or you're not sanctioned, or you are not running away, or any of that stuff. Okay, also you need to upload a document that shows your proof of identity. And then finally, you have to upload your proof of sponsorship. It could either be a state sponsorship or an employer sponsorship, because in Australia the state could sponsor you to come and teach, or the employer with which you are going to work with can give you a sponsorship. Okay, so these documents are what you would need generally in your application. So if you don't have any of these documents, start preparing them down if it is your intention to practice in Australia. All right guys, so how is this registration going to be like? First and foremost, you have to apply to AITSL to have your initial assessment done. And if you pass this initial assessment, you can now go ahead and apply to one of the education boards, depending on which state you want to teach in. Okay, once you pass their own assessment as well, then you can look for a job. Now the job that you're going to get, they are going to give you sponsorship. Now with your documents and your assessment and everything done, plus this sponsorship, you can apply for the skilled migrant visa. Okay, now like I said, teaching is a priority in Australia. So if you meet all of these requirements, they are going to give you your visa. To be able to get this visa, you don't have to be more than 45 years. Okay, so people who are 45 years and below are qualified to get this visa. However, if you are 46 years above, you do not qualify for this visa. And also this visa is calculated point wise, and you need to have at least 65 points. Points are based on your qualifications and the criteria you are meeting and all that, and you have to have at least 65 points. So that to me is another disadvantage with this whole process. But the good thing is you don't need QTS. You don't need to have QTS. There are no subject specialism. As long as you have a qualification and you are qualified to teach a specific area or subject, you can apply. Also, one thing that I notice is different from this Australian process compared to UK is with money, because you have to pay registration fee when you are joining a board, and after that every year, at the end of every year, annually, you pay another money, okay, to renew your registration, sort of. Okay, unlike UK where the whole process to TRA is free, over here if you are going to join and be registered, you need to pay a registration fee. Okay, apart from that, you need to have enough money in your account so that when you get to Australia, for the first 1 month, for upkeep until you get your first salary, you need money to start up in Australia. Okay, so that's another thing. Guys. So there is cost involved, and the criteria to meeting the visa is a bit different from that of the UK. Now, how much is the salary you are going to be receiving? So according to some few websites that I looked at, salary ranges from between 55,000 Australian dollars to about 118 Australian dollars, which they are saying is higher than UK salary for teachers. So if you are going to practice in Australia, you're going to be earning more than your colleague who would be practicing in the UK. But there are certain standards that you have to meet, which will determine how much you're going to be receiving. If you join a board initially, you are going to be known as a provisionally registered teacher, and then you're going to progress as long as you're meeting certain standards to a proficient teacher. The next step is highly accomplished teacher, and then finally lead. Okay, so depending on which of these stages you are, your salary may either be lower or higher, but the range still remains between 55,000 Australian dollars to about 118 Australian So you must be wondering, if I'm accredited in this state, can I teach in a different state? And the answer is yes, you can, with the exception of one state, which is New South Wales. If you want to teach in this particular state, you have to get re-registered. You can't transfer or use your accreditation from a different state to teach in that particular state. If you want to practice in Australia, they are saying that the best time to apply for a job would be in September, so that you can start the following year. Okay, so September is the best time to apply for jobs. And like I said, I'll leave all of the important links beneath this video. Click under this video in the description box to access all of the links. So my advice would be, learn a bit more about Australia, know exactly where you want to practice or which education board you want to apply to, find out what their criteria are or what their requirements are, prepare, and then start your application. While I was doing this research, I found an agency that can help you with job searching and settling. So Google them as well and get in contact with them for more information and to questions that you may have that I may not be able to answer for you. So thank you so much for watching this. Now that you know all of this, do you still want to go to Australia? Comments below. Okay, comment, let me know if you still want to go to Australia, knowing what you just know now. Okay, thank you so very much for watching my video. If you watched to this end and you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Kindly subscribe. I'll link all of the important links in the description box below, and do not forget to join my Telegram page, and I'll see you there. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.